Alright everyone, welcome back. In this video we are going to work on customizing our title block. And of course, if you hung in there on the last video, you know that I kind of got lost on this item number 5. We're going to clean that up, take a minute and clean that up as well. So let's get started, and sorry about taking so long on the last video. So let's get this one moving a little bit. Alright, so we're going to move on to Revit and get that going. Alright, so item 5, the sheet index. So I made an error. I placed this text box onto a drafting view, and I did not want to do that. So I want to delete that drafting view off my sheet, and I will come to drafting views and I will delete it over here in my project browser. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to place that text box directly here onto paper space of my drawing sheet. And it's sitting right here. I'm going to place it, get a reasonable place to put it. That looks like it's close. And while it's still selected, hit escape once, and again, reselect my text box. I'm going to go back and give it that name, sheet index. And all I need to do is just scoot it a little bit to the left to line it up with my title block and adjust the height to 3.5 inches as before, and it's ready to go. Alright, so real quick, how did I combine these into one object? Alright, so it's select the schedule and the text box and create a group for these items. So once I create that group, I get a title to create that group for, and I'm going to call it sheet index group. And so now I guess I'm going to call it sheet index group 1 or new. And so now when I need to edit this in the future or move this around, I'll be able to move around one object. Notice there is my placement origin. I'm actually going to put this placement origin in this upper right hand corner, so placing it in the future I can pretty easily align it wherever I want to. Okay, so that completes item 5. Time to move on to item 6. How do we put some type of custom graphic up here in our own title block? I know we did that. I think you did that last semester in Intro to AutoCAD. And of course, Revit has the same capability and has the ability to modify this title block in any way we want. So if I select this title block, I find by looking over in my properties that I have this E130 by 42 horizontal. And up top I can see that I can edit a family, so it is just a Revit family. So I'm going to click on this edit family, and what I'm doing is it's just as if I am opening an AutoCAD block, and I am now in the AutoCAD block editor. You can see I have a new tab up on my tabs for my graphics area, and it's completely separate from my project. And by the way, now when I highlight individual objects, those objects highlight and I could adjust them. For instance, this top area is just a line of medium thickness, and I could change its thickness or I could change its size and grips or anything else that I want. So all we want to do here is put in some kind of graphic image. So I'm going to delete Autodesk, and what I'm going to do is create kind of a dummy image to put in. And I'm going to do that by using, as you can see down below, a little snipping tool. And I can take a new snip. So if you don't have that on your title bar, the way you get there is just click Start and type snip. I guess it's important to, actually, it's not that important. You want to start that with an S. And Microsoft has this built in. So I'm going to click New, and I'm just simply going to take a snip that is something of Revit sitting right here, just so I get a graphic image. And now that I have it, I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save it to my desktop, just as it's a shortcut. And I'm simply going to call it title block image. It saves as a PNG file, and that's the type of graphic that I want to put in here. So now, here in my title block, I'm going to click Insert, and I want to insert an image. Note that you can import CAD as well. So if you have, from last semester, AutoCAD lines, text, that you want to use as your kind of logo, you can import that as well. So I'm going to import this image, and I'll navigate to my desktop. And I'm going to find what images I have, and here is this title block image.png. I'll click Open. And I will click it into place. I get a preview of how big it's going to be. It's bigger than I want, but I can shrink it, and the aspect ratios continue to be maintained, so resizing really isn't too difficult. Okay, so I've got this sheet customized for myself, and so what that means now is I want to do more than just loading it back into the project. I want to save this as a separate file. So I'm going to click File, Save As, and I want to save it as a family. I'm going to here save it to my desktop again, just to save navigation time, and I'm going to say that this is an E30 by 42 Rob Green. And now that I have it saved, I have the option to insert it into any project I want to. Here I'm going to click my options up top to load it back into the project and close this family file. And I'm going to get a couple dialog boxes. All right, so first one is can't create this kind of element in this view of the current mode. Well, that's because I'm sitting right here in a 3D view, and it is a title block for a drawing. So I close that off and accept it, go back to my drawing, and find and wonder how come my title block didn't change. Well, it's kind of like we duplicated a view. We actually have now a new and different title block. So I'm going to click on this title block, and over on the left in my properties, because I inserted it into the project when I closed the family, I can now click this and I can see that I also have the Rob Green option. And I will click on that, and I'm now changing what my title block is, and you can see that I have that kind of silly graphic sitting up there. But that does allow me to create and put in my own title blocks. Okay, so there is one more topic to cover here for item 6, and I'll get through this quickly, is I do have a different and completely unique title block. And as a general instruction, if I want to put my own custom title block into a project and I already have it as a family, all I need to do is insert, load family, and I'm going to navigate to wherever it is, and mine is sitting on my flash drive. Actually, it's a hard drive. And I'm going to repeat a process that is pretty similar. So I have this Rob Green custom title block. I'm going to click open, and again, it's not going to go anywhere in my graphics. It's simply going to be inserted into the project browser. And now when I click on my title block, I'm going to select my true custom that I have. So it's this E131 by 42, I think. This one, my names are really similar. And there it is. Okay, so now you know how to customize your own title block. Hope that was helpful. And of course, we also got item 5 fixed up. And the last thing we're going to do is a quick session talking about populating our title block. See you in the next session.